Well, hello, and welcome back to the Expressive Qualities of Music, Part 2. In Part 1, we talked about these words that I wanted to share with you again, and we listened to some music together to really see how these different words combined can really make us feel something. It expresses to us a feeling. And today's fun time is going to be putting all of this into action and putting movements that express that same quality through movement. So what we're listening to sort of directs our emotions and what we might do with our bodies. And it's all about the expression that comes from the combination of all these different qualities. So for our first music selection, I do want you to be thinking, as we do these motions, some of those words, whether it's major, happier sounding, minor, not as happy sounding, if it's loud, if it's soft, if there's high range instruments like the violin and flute, or if there's lower basses and bigger brass instruments playing. Really keep all of that in mind as you enjoy this movement. The first movement is kind of like flicking your hands when they're wet and you want to get the moisture off your hands. So you just flick it down, and we're going to move into a circle, raising our hands at the same time. And that's going to be on 8 counts. And then we end up like this, and we flick again up to the sky and bring it back down all the way to where we started from, right here. And then our one side is going to go up 4 counts, very graceful, like a butterfly, and up the other side like a butterfly. And then that is considered our first section, and we do it again. So we flick, we go around, I'm going a little bit faster than the music, and flick again, come back, and then we get to do it again. We really be very graceful. So obviously the music is not super fast, and it has some graceful quality to it. Now that's all section A. We give it a label of A. It's one section. Then you're going to hear something change. And for this change, we're going to do something different as well with our bodies. And we are going to call it the B section. And we're going to start with our finger. Our pointer finger over here is going to do that little roundabout for 4 counts. And let's visualize that as a B. And this little B is going to buzz around over here. Now we're going to go to the next joint on our body, which is our wrist, like we've already done. This is our butterfly again. We get to do a butterfly, butterfly. Now we're going to do a smaller bird, and we're going to turn from our elbow, and it's a little bit tricky, but you just try to keep your upper arms the same and let your arm pivot. And that's going to be for 4 times, and then another 4 on the other side. The last one is the really big birds, like the eagles, and we're going to use our whole arm, and because it's so big, we only have time to do 2 of them. Big sweeping motion. So all of these are very flighty creatures, right? And then we go back to the A section, and you can tell me what that is. I bet you're doing it right now. You flick, go around, flick again, come back, and then we go back to our butterflies. Other side. And there you have it. Now, keeping all of this in mind, let's enjoy the music and moving with it. Here we go. Get ready, here we go. Here's our butterflies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. And look up at the sky. Get again. Here's our new section. That's our B. Just your little finger there. Now our butterfly comes back. Now our smaller birds like robins and wrens. And our bigger birds. Just two of them. Get ready to flick. Oh, but did you notice how different it is from the beginning? Really listening. And I like to envision a butterfly departing, being let go and being put back into the wilderness and being free. So we just completed doing our movement with that piece of music by Prokofiev. Prokofiev is the person who wrote the music, or the composer, and it's called Symphony No. 1 Gavotte. And I would like you to think about it for a second. Did it make you feel happy? Did it make you feel like beautiful springtime with all the creatures buzzing around and the birds flying? I'm hoping so. So would that be major or would it be minor? And I'm hoping you're answering major. Because remember, major has my little happy face, right? And it should have been a piece of music that made you think of happy things, especially at the end when it quieted down and we saw our butterfly flying, and it was the last butterfly of the group finally being let go maybe, and then it left. So it got really quiet, and it makes dramatic shifts. And that dramatic shift from the very beginning, which was really loud, to the end where it was really soft, is drama. And it makes us think about a story and maybe what might have happened. So we're going to move on now to our music selection number 2, and it's called Ancient Airs and Dances, Suite number 3. And it's by a composer from Italy whose last name is Respighi. And Respighi wrote this in a way that we really can hear two sections. Again, we label it just A and B. The A section is generally speaking a softer sound. So I want you to pay attention to how it's paired. There's this softer sound, and then there's a very strong sound that comes after. For the softer motions, we're going to be using our hands like this. For the motions in the A section of Ancient Airs, we're going to move our hand forward and let it float up and down like this 4 times. And then we bring it down to the side doing the same thing. We go up the other side and then back down, very floaty. This is our soft section, but it gets a little louder, so both hands come in and we do the same motion up and then back down on the sides. That's the A section, our softer section. Then you're going to hear the music shift a little bit. And we're going to cross our arms with fists. That's our strong part of the song, section B. And one hand is going to sweep over here, then the other hand is going to sweep over there, and then we're going to bring them both together and do them at the same time, which is even stronger. And you might even have a serious look on your face. Whoa, yes. And then we bring them down together like that. And then we go back to the soft A section, and once again back to the strong B section. And it goes back and forth in a couple of different ways, and the music is shifting all the time to make you feel some different things. So again, be very aware of how the music is making you feel. And then at the end, there's a small little extra bit that we call a coda. A coda is kind of like a PS on a letter, when you add a little note at the very end of your letter after you've already ended the letter. So the music is basically done. The A, the B, the A, the B, and so on. Those sections are all done. But then there's just this little teeny bit. We're going to put it out, out, turn it over, then bring out the hands and down in prayer hands. Let's try it. Other side. Here the music gets louder. Both hands. One more time, strong. Listening. Softly it plays. I think it even slowed down, you guys. It's so sweet. Oh, but it's building. Listening to all those notes going up and down. Very dramatic. Section. Oh, listen to all those tippy toes. Here's our coda. So how did Ancient Airs make you feel? I'm hoping that you really got a sense of that soft and that strong, and how all of those different things came together to make you feel something different inside. And you might have had a very dramatic story going, just like in the first one, when the music gets really loud and then it shrinks down to something very soft. There was a lot of tiptoeing in there. And when I'm in class with you guys, we often talk about what different stories you might have imagined. So I'd love for you to listen to that music more and talk about it with your family, have them listen to it, and maybe compare your stories. It's a pretty cool thing to do. So for our last piece, I'd like to share with you a concerto in E blank, major or minor. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to figure it out for yourself. But it is a concerto, which means that one instrument, in this case the violin, is going to have a solo, and it's really highlighted or spotlighted. It's that violin that comes in. In the beginning, the whole orchestra is playing what we are going to call our section A. And we're going to swing for our movement this time. So I put one foot in front of the other, but I don't take a step. I just kind of go up and back with my arms and back, up and back. That's the motion for the A section. And this particular concerto is a rondo. I'm throwing a lot of big music words your way. A rondo is just another type of organization or form. We've talked a lot about A, B, these different sections that jump back and forth. In this case, we have our A section, and then it's going to jump to a different section. Of course, we call it B. But in the case of the rondo, think of round. It comes back around to the A section. And then it's going to skip B and do C, but come back around to A. So think about it. What's going to be my next section if I have A, B, A, C? Then I go back to A. What's my next section? D. And it goes back around to A, E. And lastly, we end on A. Pardon my neighbor's dog. He tends to bark occasionally this time of day. So anyway, the rondo is just going round and round back to the A section time and time again. So the A section is that swinging action. And I like to think of all these things as flying objects. The first one, the B section, are our butterflies. But this time we're hooking our thumbs and we're going to keep our butterflies together like this. They're not two butterflies. These are the wings of one butterfly. Okay? And I want to see you guys, I wish I could see you guys, but I want you to try going all over, being very creative with your butterflies. And you can get down low, you can come up high. Then we do our A section, we came back around. Then our next section, the C section, are birds. You can have little flutters, you can have big flutters, as long as it's going with the music, right? Then we go around to the A section, our swing. Then our D section, something new. The D section is one of my favorites. It's where we bring our hands to our mouth and we're going to blow. And we're going to have our hands sort of explode. And the thing I want you to think about is a dandelion. A dandelion that has all that fuzzy stuff. The flower has long gone and it's just the seeds. And when you blow on it, they spread. They're flying. They're spreading around. Nature's wonder. Then we go back around to the A section, swinging again. And lastly, the E section is quite a bit longer. And it's a beautiful, beautiful violin part. And we're going to have our arms kind of parallel, which means they're like lines going across. And it should be equal between the two. That's what parallel is. And we keep them parallel like a flag. Pretend like the space between my arms is a flag. And sometimes it flaps in the wind. And we do dramatic things with it, with the music. And then once again, when we hear that A section, we go back to our swing. B section, butterflies. Up, back, that's our A section. Get ready for the violin and the birds. Is it major or minor? And up, 2, section. What are we going to next? There you go, the A section. Thank you for trying out all of this wonderful music and movement together, and remembering our opposites of music that really give us a sense of how the music impacts us and makes us feel things. And I hope you'll never listen to a piece of music the same again, that you'll be thinking about these things and really appreciate how just the beauty of the music in all its forms, fast and slow, loud and soft, with major sounds and minor sounds, can really make us feel good, sometimes pep us up when we need to be pepped up, or sometimes calm us down when we need to be calmer and not let anything bother us and help us go to sleep. All those things happen when these things are in action in our music. And again, that's the expressive qualities of our music. I hope you've enjoyed it. All right, everyone. See you next time.